In this video, we will change our sky with manual techniques. To replace our sky, we need to make a selection and create a mask based on that. Of course, there are many methods to do that, such as using a magic wand tool, select by color range, manually painting, or using pen tools, etc. If your render shot file includes an alpha channel, for sure, your work should be much easier, but let's assume we don't access to alpha channel. I always first analyze render shot to find good solution. For example, what is the difference between the sky and the rest of the image, especially in the areas that attach together, which I mean borders of the sky and subjects. Usually we could find the color differences or differences in light intensity. Also, note that usually when you're changing the sky, you should match the reflection and overall color tone of the scene. In this practical image, both color and lightness have obvious difference, so we could take that advantage to separate the sky from the rest of our image. First, duplicate your layers by dragging your layer onto the create new layer, or go to layer menu, new layer via copy or duplicate layer. I press Ctrl or Command J and now go to select menu, color range. As you see, I set the selection preview for my small thumbnail and selection preview on quick mask to be more visible. Click once on the sky, and as you see in my preview, we have the white selection, which means these regions are selected, and black colors mean does not selected. You could add to your selection by selecting add to selection, or hold on the shift key and click on the image, or even on your preview image. Allow me to add more. So I'm defining the areas. Note that if you enable localized color cluster, you could get better result because trying to match up contiguous color and light intensity. If I disable that, as you see, all blue similar colors are selected, so I enable that. And if you enable detect faces, it will help you to improve your selection integrity. So I enable that too. Hold on the shift key and select your rest of area of the sky. By increasing or decreasing fuzziness, you could expand or reduce your selection region. Also, usually by expanding your fuzziness, you will remove small dots left in your selection region. So try to get best result as you want. Also, I could hold Alt or Option to remove from selection. Note that it doesn't matter to select everything here, and if your water and other areas you don't want are selected, is no worries. We just need to main focus on the borders, or better to say edges between our sky and rest of the subjects. I think it is pretty acceptable, so press OK button. Now create a mask on your new layer, and because we already have a selection, we made acceptable result for now. Allow me to hide below layer. As you see the result, to refine our mask, we simply could use brush, black color, and start painting some areas. Allow me to increase flow and start painting, or double click on your mask thumbnail. If mask refine editor did not open like mine, after double click or click on your mask thumbnail, select and mask button here. We could change the preview mode. I think overlay here is fine. By default, my quick selection tool is enabled. Note that if I start to dragging, it will add to your selection, so we don't need that. Undo that. Hold down the Alt or Option key and start painting to remove any places you don't want. Actually, the result is very acceptable, but I want to add few notes here. In some cases, you might start to painting, and as you see here, some part of my vegetation and trees expanded to my selection, which I don't want that. In these cases or some similar situation, for example, you have hair and fur in your image and you want to refine it, better to enable Refine Edge tool or press R from your keyboard and start slowly dragging the region I want. Hold on the Control space or Command space and drag to zoom in. Hold on the space to pan. Now you could see what's going on here better. So start panning and automatically adjust your result. Also for here and in some soften regions. Now press Ctrl or Command 0 to fit your zoom. If I enable brush tool, it is working like simple brush out of refine mask. So simply if I start painting, as you see, just removing or hold on the Alt key and make darker value. In this tool, we don't have any post-processing automatically, something like quick selection. If you enable quick selection and start painting, as you see, automatically trying to match up rest of the place you need to add or remove from mask, but the brush tools work simply anywhere you're painting. So I'm zooming here again. Make sure your brush tool is enabled and start removing. Hold on the Alt or Option and selecting. It is very similar to normal brush. There is no post-processing. I added a bit and using refine brush to refine again. Alright, Control 0. That's pretty acceptable. If you need adjust more, in the right panel, you could find something like radius and feather for making smoother result and increase the contrast and of course shift edge. If move the slider to left, which is negative, your mask size will reduce, and if you go to the opposite, will expand it your mask. So I undo that. I think that's fine. Press OK. Now we have our mask. Now in this step, you could replace with any image you like. I think my mask need a bit adjustment here. So I select brush with white color and make sure it is fully white. That's fine. And also here with black color. You could add or remove details of your mask anytime you like, and it is non-destructive method. Alright, so I'm going to find the sky to bring it into my document. Alright, I found this sky here, which I won't paste it into my mask, so exit from mask editor, undo that. I could simply paste my sky and hold on the Alt or Option to make copy, or just simply drag your mask and remove this original layer because we don't need it. Bring back your render shot layer. Note that by default here My layer and mask are locked together, which means if I start moving my sky, as you see your mask moving too. Check here, which we don't need that. So better to unlock it by simply click on this chain. And now start moving your sky. I could press Ctrl or Command T to resize it, rotate it, flip it, or any distortion type I want. I think this direction it is better. And okay, now as you see, we simply replaced our color. If you need change the light intensity or color, simply you could go to image adjustment curve to increase light intensity, and image adjustment hue saturation, and change the sky color or even saturation. I think the default values are fine. Just we need a bit adjustment of environment, light and color. So here I select my original render shot layer. From the adjustment part, I add something like color balance. For midtone, we need a bit colder. For shadows, also more colder values. And for highlight, maybe a bit more yellowish, warmer color. A bit green and cyan, or maybe magenta. You could see before and after. Of course, you could retweak any values you like here, or change the opacity to get final results. I think this is fine. In the next video, we will work on reflection, especially in this water pool. We don't have any specific window for change the reflections. So see you in next video.